presentation is quite like practice-based, so I would need like some speakers at some point. But I can like go through to the whole like my topic before.
Okay, and for the internet, you know,
there's the study net.
This was
Yes.
Okay, let's maybe start so that the schedule won't go. Hello, my name is Joonas Siren, and my topic today is. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Reconfigurations of the electronic dance music preset template. I will explain what I mean by this a bit later. First, just bio stuff. I don't have almost any musical like background. I have made music almost all my life, but I haven't ever studied at any point. I have graduated from the Fine Art Academy, and also this Nordic Summer program it isn't anymore, but it used to be like this joint study program run by 5 different Nordic art academies. Yeah, yeah.
There's a seat here.
Yeah, so let's continue. And then I'm also a doctoral student in Aalto University, but I haven't really like progressed in my studies because I haven't had any funding during the last 4 years or so. I've been studying the normal kind of basic stuff that you need to do. But my topic there is like more related to like sound in context of fine art works, and like I was thinking like how I have used sound as a kind of a vehicle for meaning, and how other people have used like more like a kind of semantic material for like artworks. But this whole presentation doesn't have anything to do with my research topic there, so I'm more here as a musician. And then me and Victor here have been like running this algorithm workshop here. Like we have been quite interested in this like developments in this kind of a community in ways. Like this Alex McLean started I guess in Sheffield University almost 10 years ago or something. He made this tidal cycles language. And do you know is this Julian Rorumer also part of like he also I guess.
He helped with the implementation of this Superbirds engine, like the sound engine.
Yeah, but it's more like Alex's project then, so it's not Julian's project.
No, it's not Julian's project.
Okay,
that's
yeah.
right. Like he helped Alex to build this massive.
Implement the whole thing. Yeah, so the tidal cycles is a Haskell-based program. I don't know how many people know it already. Quite many. So, well, it's this Alex McLean, and it's his PhD project, and he wanted to have this kind of a algorithm language that it's quite easy to set up, like to kind of have like as a sequencer, you have kind of like it's like loads your own like whole sample library, and then it's quite easy to basically like trigger those sounds. And me and Victor were talking about like it would be nice to have like session of these workshops, like where we kind of just try out stuff, and like we have always actually it's here today at 6, so it will be a super long day for me because Victor is going to Kontula and I'm staying here for the workshop. But anyway, so that's the thing that I've been doing. And here's my electronic music alias Forces. And last year this is more on the topic that I'm talking today. So all these 3 records I released last year, and they are mostly like super collider deconstruction of like other people's music. And the Plastisphere was like mostly Ibiza trance music, like really like processed in like really mad ways. And I tried to kind of make a new kind of material out of these trance CD collections that I borrowed from library and then had it at WAV files. And this Dynamics album was released on this Conditional Records. That's mostly like Skrillex samples, like mad edits of Skrillex sound. And then this Climate Din and the Denial Machine is like mostly, it's all over the place. It has some super collider stuff and it has some title stuff, and I can't remember what's the samples on that. It's not that specific. It's like different kind of stuff. But yeah, for today, I would like to kind of go through this DAW, Ableton Live, as a kind of like short presentation that I want to make this kind of a really short kind of preset beat in Ableton, and then export whole beat, and then go to Super Collider and deconstruct the whole thing that I was making in the Ableton thing, and using just only like template stuff, because for me it's like the whole culture of electronic music is really interesting, but I'm not always interested in the like 4x4 kind of things. I'm like more interested in kind of ways to mess with time and how can like trigger sounds in different ways, and how can use like kick drum as a like a granular kind of like texture and stuff like that. So and then yeah, start to use of overs. Basically I said that. And I could also a short, I'm sure if you have like stereo sound or not, maybe that's the only thing we'll have. I want to also show about these tidal cycles and the MIDI implementation in there, and like use the same like preset sounds, but with tidal cycles I can trigger them like much more strangely. Yep. So maybe let's start. I don't know how is the sound for me now. So I will just like quite quickly just like choose some of these. Like I don't even have that many here. Like I can like go to Ableton website and download much more. Yeah, that's good. So let's take that. So let's just make something here. Yeah, and something else maybe. Just a loop somewhere. Yeah. Okay, and one more synth line maybe. So no, not this. And I have this funny synthesizer called, where is it? Rave Generator. Let's take that one. It's a bit like old school, but it's okay for our purposes now. No, let's not take that. But anyway, here we have already, like, I don't know how many minutes to take, but just using this preset stuff, it's not really that important, like how does it sound here, because I want to go into Super Collider quite quickly and try to deconstruct the whole thing. Try to go quickly so you could just export it. Sorry, it takes some time, but okay, so I will just export all this. Doesn't really matter that much. And now I want to go to Tidal and use those kits. Actually, this is not a kit, this is just a sample. No, okay, I use just only this kit then. And as a kind of a way how to, way to start working with these sounds, but like the timing would be totally different. So I have this in PC. I don't have this IAC driver that in Max is really handy, but I have this loop MIDI program, so I can send MIDI information from tidal cycles to Ableton. I need to boot it from Super Collider first. So let's go here. Window size is strange. And yeah, so this Super Dirt is the, I guess Julian made that, and this is, you have to start it from Super Collider, and then you can go into Atom or whatever else editor that you want to use. And the MIDI is just a MIDI kind of, you have to define it from Super Collider, and then you can go into tidal cycles. And I already made something here, like, just to be quick. So this should be kick, I guess. Let's see. No, it's not a kick. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, okay. So we have kick there. But this is for me not that interesting. This is the 4x4 by 120. But let's start to mess a bit with this whole code. This space out thing is quite interesting. It's already, it takes too much time to kind of explain everything, but the space out is like just like it shortens and like lengthens the kind of because tidal cycles is based on this global cycle length, so it's always changing the length of the like cycle. So you will have like different amounts of nodes in each cycle. But now it's just a kick, but we can start to make. This is basically an if statement, and it's like every third of a time something happens, so that's good. Plus n. Function there. So basically, because the MIDI notes are tied into like the samples here, I'm kind of messing like this n is the note number. So every 8 kind of how is it said? 80% of the time, this note should be like plus 15 values up. So actually, it doesn't sound like that. It should be like that. Well, at least it's heretical in some sense. Yeah. So I'm not totally sure why it should be like more. We're playing a lot of this kick drums now. But anyways, this is one method of messing with the kind of time thing. And this CB thing, CBS, that's the speed of the whole thing. It can be also modulated. So it's normally CBS is 1, and that's 120 if you have 4 samples. But you can have it whatever. You can have also like, it's pretty fun to mess with the CC, MIDI CC things and enable them just use whatever like delays you have here or whatever effects and send like crazy MIDI notes, MIDI CC values from here and have them like in an effects chain. It's quite, because I feel that like Ableton is really limited in some sense, like if you just work it with inside the box, because it's so strict, like it's so bound to this like idea, like how electronic music should be in some sense, like, and how should it be sounding like. So I'm more into this like time-based like manipulations, even though I'm sometimes using just kind of normal sounds in that sense. I'm not like super academic into this electroacoustic stuff. So, but I'm more interested still like with manipulations. But I want to also, I find it really interesting that there's this new program called Orca. I don't know, how many have you heard about this Orca? Okay, quite many, yeah. So this is also a way to make this really strange. Okay. So this Orca is it's built almost like a game. Like you build these operators that you can make numbers with, and each letter is each uppercase letter is some kind of operator. So you basically build this kind of networks of operators that make stuff, like calculate stuff. And I have already only used this a couple of weeks, so I can't really go that into this whole thing. But like R is number, random number, and it has like from 0 till C, and all those letters are numbers as well. So, and then we can have like this maximum and minimum numbers of the whole R. And this, what's this called in English? This column, yeah. So that's a MIDI output. So I had already mentioned here. This D is triggering this MIDI output, and it has this sequences of C, D, E, F, G. That's this random value is triggering here. So let's see if you can hear it. Maybe. Oh, okay. Maybe because I have it. Because I don't even know what are the samples, I didn't check them, so, and I made this whole thing during today, so I'm not totally sure what's happening here, but at least for me it's been really interesting. Also you can send like OSC messages with this, so it could be maybe, I tried to actually last week make it like send like values to Super Collider, but I was unsuccessful because I'm not that custom into this whole OSC stuff in Super Collider. I've made some max patches that use OSC, but for some reason I'm not that like I didn't know the syntax for the OSC-def thing in Super Collider that well. But here also like a way to mess with the times, and you could. People are building quite long, like large kind of networks of these letters that interact with each other, and it's quite interesting to like think about like MIDI triggering in that sense. But yeah, let's go back to Super Collider, and then I wonder why is it like this? I can see that. Yeah, so we exported the whole file somewhere. Should be. Oh, it's here. Yeah. Okay. Oops. Oh, I put it here. Yeah. I need to make it mono because I'm using this waveset object that I guess is made by this Alberto De Campo. I guess he has made a lot of stuff to Super Collider, or he made the whole microsound chapter in the Super Collider book. Yeah. So this is also, I guess, based on this Trevor Wishart that we talked about today. I'm not that familiar with all this like academic stuff. Like my method for working with Super Collider is really intuitive. So I had the 1 year course with Alejandro, and after that, like I've been like really into like just learning it by myself, just like opening up SynthDefs, and I don't like really consider myself as a coder. Like it's just like an interesting kind of way to make music for me, but I'm not that like concerned. Like do I kind of understand all this like SynthDefs and what they are working? I'm mostly like trying it out myself. And I think I've always had this kind of way of working, like I opened up softwares and that I don't really know how to use. For example, I made a lot of like art stuff in this Blender, that's a 3D modeling software that I don't know how to use. And just make stuff there and like see what happens. But let's open like the whole amazing piece that we made. Oh, okay, so oops. So this waveset synthesis is a form of like granular synthesis, but I guess it's based on more like about this zero threshold waves, that it takes one wave, and when it's like the wave is in the zero threshold, and then it takes the part of it like really super short waves. So one wave is one like crossing of the zero threshold point. I'm not sure if I'm like explaining it well. Yeah. But, okay. Should be okay. And oh yeah, it's super small. I'm quite accustomed to use this P libraries. I always like to use them, and I quite often make these separate patterns with these pdef ends outside of my pd-int patterns, so I can make multiple different patterns in different ways. But we should actually have to make a new project here. So now it's playing in a rate of 1, the first 100 wavesets of the whole song that I made. But you can start to mess with it. basically I'm just like manipulating this SynDef had this. Actually, I don't really know what's happening here in this. It has this couple of play rates. I guess it's like changing. You can maybe it's this how the next wave set. This kind of a legato effect in the second kind of wave set that it has this pitch thing going on that you can manipulate. That's the thing that I can't really tell you because
Isn't it that what Curtis Rhodes calls the Clisson synthesis?
it could be, yeah.
You have every grain, so
Yeah.
actually it's every grain has this glissando.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So that's things that I don't know, but I'm just like figuring out myself and how I'm using them. And I used basically this p-white stuff a lot, and I made sequences in this. And tomorrow I'm gonna play like whole batch stuff like that's made on like different kind of p stuff mostly, and like just specific tracks, and then like deconstruction of those tracks. And yeah, please come tomorrow to see our event. It'll be fun.
Can you just go over the parameters for the event, the exact place and time for?
Yeah, it's Kontula, so the metro that goes to Mellunmäki, so go to any metro that has this Mellunmäki sign, because there's in the east there's Vuosaari as well, and that's the wrong one. So you have to go a metro that goes to Mellunmäki, and after Itäkeskus, it's the second stop, I guess. Yeah, it's the second stop.
But the venue and the time.
Yeah,
in
the venue and the
Kontula.
time. Yeah. So tomorrow it starts at our event will start at 9, and we'll go 12:30.
But I recommend you all to go to skateboarding hall 8 o'clock. We invited Maria B. Horn from Sweden. She's making drone music with super glider.
Yeah. I don't have it. Let's see.
But you had a very nice direction map that you sent around to the artists.
Yes,
Maybe you can just forward this.
you can show the trip planner,
Right.
the
Yeah,
Reitti of us.
But the metro is very easy in Helsinki. There's just one line.
Yeah.
You had to be branches into two, though. You have to make sure you get
You
the.
have to go to
The
the
right
direction
branch.
where this goes to the Y, and then pick one branch.
Yeah.
That is the Mellunmäki branch.
Yeah.
And the whole festival is in this old brutalist shopping mall, so all the bars are quite close to each other, so it's quite easy to find.
Yeah. So there's all these bars. There's quite many bars, and we are gonna be in Himabaari. That's the fort. So this is the metro station. No. Yeah, I guess.
Yes.
So, but yeah. So that starts at 9 tomorrow. What should I be from there?
Yeah, this is just a website where you can
Oh yeah.
set your address and your location where you're going.
So Kontula, and it gives you other way around.
Use the right location.
But you don't really need much. I mean, just the metro to the east. Remember to go to the east, not to the west,
Yeah.
and then remember to take Mellunmäki and not Vuosaari.
Yeah.
And then you will get to Kontula. You can't help it.
Yeah.
So
So it has this Mellunmäki. That's the
so
point.
M2. That's the important one. M2.
Yeah. Actually, I'm not sure if they are like labeled.
Yes, they're labelled. Yes, they're labelled.
Are they
M2.
labeled?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I thought, aren't we going sort of as a group?
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to set off as a group. Yeah. So if you
If you go wrong way or what?
So will Google Maps tell you the right?
Yeah.
yeah.
So
And
can we-
Himabaari at 9 o'clock, and
Himabaari,
you're recommending the swimming pool.
No,
The skateboarding. Skateboarding hall. That's when you leave the metro thing. That's kind of right down. You have to go a bit past this shopping centre by the right, don't you, to get down to the skateboarding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it number 12?
12, yeah.
Swimming hall. Oh, it's skate hall. Yeah, skate hall.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has this strange kind of industrial kind of doorway. Then you go this tunnel.
Yeah. But I think there will be people with bunny kind of costume, so you can always ask from them.
Yeah.
Right.
They will show the way for you.
Yeah.
Bunny. Okay,
Yeah.
but thanks a lot. Do we have any questions for Joonas?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So how do you play live with Super Collider?
Like,
Do you use any controllers? Do you use it like just your computer screen and you type in the values, or?
no, because everything is kind of, here's my live patch. So, like, as you can see, all these are like all the same value. This goes in the same parameter all the time. And here's, so I basically evaluate all, like once in a time something, kind of, I play like, I change to this and then I change to that. And then I sometimes have this, like the whole pattern is like cost here, like values. So I'm just changing kind of, because I'm like all the time granularizing like tracks in live. So I'm just like using one, I don't have like polyphonic samples, like that stuff. So basically just like evaluating this code and sometimes typing it, but not that much. And it's the same for I have one track in Tidal, and it's just like it has this MIDI triggering stuff, so I changed some values here, like the fast number, like how fast the CPS, like how fast the cycle is.
Yeah, but I understand that, but how does your performance look like? Like you're behind the computer
Yeah,
and you're typing those values sometimes?
yeah.
Okay.
So tomorrow I will be first time projecting the code live, so I haven't had that before. And I'm not sure if it's that interesting, but that's why I've been putting a lot of these trace values, so at least a lot of numbers will be blinking. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any more questions? No?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot, Joonas. Thank you so much.